Hey guys, Donnie RightSide here, Bookmakers Review NBA action. Are you watching here? My goodness, it has been a crazy NBA playoffs, and we're only into round number 2. Massive upsets on the horizon, teams finally righting the ship. We're getting everything, and also key injuries to players like Steph Curry. When will they return back into their series against the Minnesota Timberwolves? But on this video, we want to take a look at some of the championship odds in the NBA and if there is any value moving forward. If we look at the teams left in the playoffs, OKC is still a favorite at a plus 120 price to cut down the Nets and be NBA champions for 2024-2025, followed by the Boston Celtics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Minnesota Timberwolves, New York Knicks, Indiana Pacers, Denver Nuggets, and the Golden State Warriors. Again, if we look at the Thunder, their price point is a plus 120. Hammered Denver in game number 2 after dropping game number 1 to even up that series before they head back to the Colorado Rockies and elevation to take on the Denver Nuggets. The Boston Celtics a plus 330 price. The Cleveland Cavaliers are plus 850. Here's the interesting part about it, right? The Cavaliers are down 0-2. They're plus 850 now. The Boston Celtics are down 0-2. They're plus 330. We'll get to those two teams in a moment. But also, the teams that have been beating them, the New York Knicks now, up 2-0 in their series, have seen their odds to win an NBA championship absolutely get lowered to an 11-1 price. The Indiana Pacers, same thing at 14-1. The teams that were not expected to win championships, which is crazy, the Denver Nuggets, and you take a look at Nikola Jokic, they're 1-1 in their series against OKC, but still an 18-1 price to win it all, followed by the Golden State Warriors at 35-1. They're 1-1 here with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but we don't know if we're expecting Steph Curry back for that series. If I had to pick out two teams that I felt still had value here, despite the way the playoffs are playing out, two different ways to play this. Number one, the Indiana Pacers at a 14-1 price, who absolutely have Cleveland on the rack right now. And also, if we're looking for that knockout punch, we don't know if Cleveland's going to be healthy the rest of the way out with multiple injuries in that starting lineup and some key bench players here. So a 14-1 price on the Indiana Pacers for me does make some sense, anticipating that they're going to move on to the next round, which is the Eastern Conference Finals, getting all of that momentum and key, them staying healthy here. But the other team I want to take a look at on the opposite end of the spectrum, it's still the Boston Celtics, who many think are the best overall team in the NBA, but it hasn't worked out that way because they're down 0-2 in their series. But for me, thinking that the Cleveland Cavaliers can come back against the Pacers is much harder for me than thinking that the New York Knicks can actually beat the Boston Celtics in a 7-game set. They're going to have to go 4-1 over the next 5 games, Boston, in order to get that done. But that plus 330 price is very intriguing, understanding that game number 3 on Saturday, the New York Knicks are underdogs by about 5 to 5.5 points, depending on where you're shopping at. So for me, I'm sticking with the East here. Two plays to take a look at. The Boston Celtics plus 330 to win an NBA championship, even though they're down 0-2 in round number 2, and the Indiana Pacers at a 14-1 price to win the NBA championship. Let's see how it turns out here, but the NBA playoffs have been certainly intriguing, a lot of fun, and a lot of twists and turns. I'm Donnie RightSide for Bookmakers Review, and as always, good luck on those wagers.